welcome to day 8 of the Start Your Business 10-Day Challenge. You are almost there to the end. After today, we only have 2 more days, so make sure you suck in all the knowledge, all the information, take good notes, and more importantly, do your homework and send your homework in. If you're not sending it in, you're not doing the challenge. That's important. Some people are just collecting the information. They're going to do it later. You're not doing the challenge. The challenge is what's going to get you to the next step, the accountability part. If you don't want to be held accountable, you're not doing the challenge. And it will affect you as a business person because you need accountability to push you forward. Sometimes you don't feel like doing the work, but because of accountability, something's going to push you forward. So we're going to start today. We have a great day. It's day 8. Create an online presence. Now, this is the part where it gets a little bit interesting because you can do all these things on your own, but you will learn, and sometimes you got to go through the process of doing it on your own before you hire somebody else to do it for you, because then you realize it's a lot of work or it's kind of hard. But it depends on your skill level, how good you are. You can take a class for it. Depends how much time you want to spend or how fast you want your company to go. If you want to take your time and do it because you have the funds, you don't have to quickly make a profit. Depend on a lot of stuff. But this is one thing you definitely need to do if you have a business, is to create an online presence. All right, number one, how do you do that? One thing to think about is get a captivating website. You need to have a nice website when people go to it, look professional. Most of the time when I started companies, I started my own website. There's Wix, there's different things you start and you put it together. I thought it looked really good. I showed it to some people. They're like, it's all right. And then they just couldn't do everything. I got a professional to work on the same Wix and do it. People are like, oh yeah, now this looks better. So someone that works on a website all the time, they're professionals, they know what they're doing. They're gonna do a better job than you if you're just doing it for the first time. So don't feel bad if you have to pay somebody. How much you have to pay for a website? You might not have the funds now. You just start with your own little website. You might just want somebody to pay, do a transaction so people can pay you and you can pay them. And you might just need something really simple. But to really get to the next level, to really look professional, if you're just doing something with people you already know, people might get to your website and they feel uncomfortable. They don't sign up because it looks scammy. It doesn't look good. There's little typos, there's mistakes. Any of these things can make you lose a sale and hurt your business. So your website, I really encourage you to invest in a good website. Hire somebody that knows what they're doing. Even if you think you know what you're doing, you're not going to be those platforms that is already basically generic. You just cut and paste and you make it. There's a lot of things they don't have. Those platforms want you to hire one of their professionals, so they don't give you access to do everything, to set everything up. So just remember that they are set up they say, hey, it's free or it's very cheap. You can do your own website for free and all this stuff. But in reality, they're limiting what you can do and how nice you can make it and what options you have. So just skip all that headache. I went through that headache multiple times. Then my last company, I just said, you know what? I'm just went straight to hiring somebody because I already knew that I'm going to get to that point. And you might need to get to that point. That's fine. Start your own, do it, do the work yourself. And you can get to a point you're gonna get like, okay, I got it. It's not gonna look as nice. There's things you want to do. It's gonna take longer. You gotta spend days, working on your website versus paying a professional that can do it better. When someone goes on your website, you want it to look nice. You want it to look beautiful. I would say how much you're gonna pay somebody. I would say don't go anything under $5,000. If someone just give you $1,000, it's not gonna do a nice website. They're probably gonna do it on one of those free ones and just do the work for you. $5,000 that can actually get you. That's actually cheap. The big companies will pay $20,000, $10,000. $5,000 will get you started. But there are some great graphic designers, great people that will even do it in a way where you pay $200 a month, and then you can continue making, and they'll give you the website. They just make for a whole 2 years. You pay, and they continue editing and changing stuff. And if you want to change something, you add something else. So great. Check out my website. You'll see. It looks professional. People say, did you make this website? No, I didn't make it myself. I tried to. I didn't. It wasn't as nice. And if you guys go look at myeverythingvacations.com as well. If you saw my first website, I thought it was great. I was like, wow, this website looks nice. I'm so happy with it. I got my pictures in and everything. But there was a huge difference when a professional did it. It just looked totally different and makes people more comfortable, and people are going to buy from you, and it's clear and explain things. So that's the first thing you want to do to create an online presence, because these days Whether you have a brick and mortar company or not, you need to be online, because that's the first thing people do. They Google you, they Google your company, they try to search you to try to see what it is. They try to look for reviews, they try to look for complaints, they try to look for fraudulent stuff. Everybody's doing that. So you make sure that you have a great online presence, not just a website, but that's the first thing. Is get a great website. Second thing, create a social media strategy. Now, what is a strategy? Is a plan that you have, or you know how you're going to do it. And it might take time before you develop that. I suggest having like one platform. Like I mainly am on Facebook. Having two, you trying to be everywhere, it actually could hurt your brand, hurt your name. Because if you have, let's say you have a Twitter account, but you don't use it, it's inactive, but your name is on it, the name of your company's on it, it will look better. It'll actually hurt you. When people go to that, they see it's like a dead thing. They think your company's dead, but it's really just Twitter account is dead. On Facebook, you might have all kind of activities. So it's better not to have that Twitter account or not to have that LinkedIn account if you're not active on it. And so make sure that you have a plan, and the plan is what you're going to do every day. So, okay, you say so a strategy like, okay, for my first plan is I'm going to try to get my customers either through paid ads or going organically, get people to my page, and I'm trying to get them to a group, and then find this group, I'm going to advertise to them. You're not going to just get people like that on Facebook. For years, I was on Facebook, I did mortgages, I was advertising. I probably got maybe 2 or 3 people in years, and those are people that were already my friends on Facebook that actually knew I was doing mortgages and ads. But as far as getting a new customer, it was hard. Why? Because Facebook wants you to pay for the ads. So if you're just going on Facebook, marketing on Facebook, you're going to be spinning your wheels. Facebook only lets 6% of your friends see a post that's like a business post. As you see your post in general, if it has a link in it, it has stuff in it, you're going to be wasting your time. That's why you need a professional to have a strategy to know exactly what you're doing. Once I sat down, came up with a strategy, I was way clear. I knew exactly who my target market were. I know where I was going to find them. I know how I was going to do it. And I had a system. Okay, they go from this to this, to this, to this. And I knew what I was doing. You eliminate discouragement. You eliminate frustration in yourself. Because when I didn't have a strategy, and I even hired somebody. I hired market. I went through so many marketers, got burnt. They'll take your money, say, hey, I'm going to do this, this, and that. But they don't have a strategy. They're waiting for you to give them a strategy. So all they're doing is just posting stuff. And you get no friends, no likes. The posts are nothing's happening in the post because there's no strategy behind it. It's just you're just randomly posting. You're paying somebody $1,000, $2,000 a month, and then nothing happened. You're like, what happened? I'm not making any money because there's no strategy. So you want to make sure that you have strategy. I have another challenge that discusses this specifically, all of these things and how to do them. And you have the challenges like you do this every day to every day. Most of these days could be its own 21-day adventure. But this is something that you don't do once, you do it for a long period of time. But you really need to have a strategy and think of a strategy. Number 3, media productions. You actually got to produce something. So to be online, you have to actually give out information. You can't just be on Facebook. You have to have a group or something that's giving people information that people are hearing about you. It takes people about 7 to 11 times of hearing about your product before they actually even consider it. So you have to be putting out content, either a newsletter or something that's telling them about your company, about aspects of your company that's not too salesy. You're not selling. You're giving them free information, kind of like this challenge. I'm giving free information. I'm not selling anything at this point. I'm just telling you guys, I'm just providing value. If you're selling houses, then you talk about house-related things. You try to speak to your target market. That's why it's important to know who your market is, because now you know what they like, and you can provide content based on what they like, even if you're not selling anything, but you just provide that, and you just how you draw them in. So you got to have able to produce or have somebody, all of these things too, you can hire somebody to help you do it. Number 4, paid ads. But I would say this, you do this one after you've kind of gotten more people organically, then you pay ads. If you don't know what you're doing, and I've gone through this too, I paid ads and then it's like, okay, a lot of people saw it, but I didn't make any money. How do I convert people? 120 people went on my website, but not one person bought anything. It's like, what's going on? What am I doing? If you don't know how to use the ads, you're going to waste a lot of money. So there's information out there how to do it. I have a challenge on how to do it. There's a lot of things that teach you how to do it, or you can just hire somebody that kind of knows what they're doing, has done it before, and they will do it for you. But if you're on a small budget, you're not sure, you want to go it yourself, I always recommend try doing these yourself. You're going to get stuck. So don't hire anybody until you get stuck, until you get to a point where like, okay, now I need to hire somebody, because at least you'll have an idea how to do it. Learn as much as you can. The company's going to be as smart as you are. If you're not smart, like I wasn't in the beginning, a lot of these marketers, website people, they take advantage of me because they came and say, hey, I'm going to do this, this, and that. And the thing they were proposing wasn't even possible. And then you're paying them thousands of dollars, you're paying them hundreds of dollars, and they're not doing anything. And they never want to promise a result because there's no strategy. They say, well, we don't know how it is. It's going to take time. And then 3 months down the road, you're still like, I haven't done anything. They're like, well, we're building up your presence. We're this, we're that. It's very, very fuzzy in that world. So you want to make sure you pay attention and you learn. You try to figure out what you're doing, what it takes to have a good website, how to create a good website. You know, your strategy, what strategies is going to be based on your company, what other companies are doing. That's why you look at your competitors and what they're doing and see how you figure it out. But these 4 things is what you need to think about today. I want you to write in your notebook what plans that you have, your thoughts on these things, so that you can know how to have an online presence. That is the day 8. Super, super important. And you need to figure this out. Okay, so my name is Dan Nzinga. I will see you guys on day 9. Thank you so much for sticking together. Stay sticking with this. Write in the comments. Share this post. Make sure people know about it. And I'll see you in day 9.